guys, Patty from Patty's Crafty Spot, and I'm here to share with you my latest project I created. This is a project I created for myself, and I do make a lot of cool things, and I never actually record them or even post my own personal stuff. So I decided to do it when I made this guy because I had this project specifically in mind to make this when Zuri came out with the new molds, and when I saw the Ouija board one, I already knew exactly what I wanted to make when I saw it, and this is what I wanted to make. And I'm so glad that what I thought of actually, what's in your head doesn't always come out what you want it to do, and this came out exactly what I wanted to do when I saw it. So I hope that you will enjoy the process watching me how I made him. So he is escaping from the Ouija board, and he's coming up through holding the planchette as if he's, busting through. And then I added some more molds from the graveyard. These little guys, I absolutely love these. I've been wanting to use these in something, and they worked out perfect for this. They are hiding the hardware underneath, or kind of hiding the hardware underneath. Hopefully your eyes are drawn more towards the piece than the hardware to hide it, just to keep the Ouija board in place. And then there's one up here with this guy hanging out. You can kind of see that. But anyway, I filmed the whole process, ups and downs of me making this, and I hope you enjoy it. It's a little bit different from my typical paper crafting stuff that I put out there, and I just hope it's something you enjoy. I will leave all the links down below to Zuri so you can go ahead and get these molds and make one for yourself. It was a lot of fun to make this and to see if I could actually blow a hole out through the Ouija board, which gave me numerous problems trying to get it to stay open. It kept wanting to go back in on its own. I didn't want to use clay or a different kind of medium to make this. I wanted to stick with the resin that I use for my other projects, and it worked out, so I love it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the process and have fun. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and try to pull this out of here and see if we can't cut it. I love pulling things out of molds. So the nice thing about the molds is it always finds its level. It goes right back to flat again. So let's see if we can give this a little cut. So this might take a bit. Oops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep slicing it because I need to cut it because it needs to break away. And I can see this is going to hurt my fingers. Wonder if I grab a sharper blade. Where's my blades? Let's go sharper. Oops. All right, let's try it again now. is definitely going to hurt. All right, I am going to pause this. I'm going to keep cutting it, and then when I can get through, I will show you. All right, so this is what I currently have right here. As you can see, I've hacked away at it. I finally got it open enough now, so I'm going to use some scissors and finish cutting it. Which seems to work much better now. So I just had to get a hole started so I can get my scissors in it. I'm sure using something much better, such as clay, you can just slice into it. However, this is a little more challenging. It's starting to do what I want it to do. Oops. I've completely destroyed my fingers trying to pull this apart, though. So what I want to do is get these peeled back, because it's supposed to look like the spirit's coming through the Ouija board. This one needs to go more. And I'm probably going to have to tape these back to get them to finish curing all the way. So that's what we have right there. So I haven't decided what I want to use yet. I have a couple different ideas. So like I'm thinking I wouldn't be, his legs wouldn't be there. He'd be coming out. So I wouldn't be using this half or the hand coming out. And then what it's going to do is it's going to be holding this guy. Pretty. So it would be like holding this. See, they're already going back down. Something like that. This would have to back even more for that. But that would be kind of neat. So I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. We'll have to wait and see. But I need this to finish curing now with it open. And it will end up laying flat. So all right, so let's see. There we go. That looks great. So now I need to tape it because it will go back. I don't know if you can see it, but see, I'm not moving it. And if you watch the lines on the mat, it's just going right back. So we need to let it finish curing. So I'm going to tape it down. I'll probably have to put something to weight that part down so it goes the right angle. I'll have to find something heavy. So when I do the cups like this, I have to use some paper to go on this first when I do the cups, because this tape loves to stay stuck to this resin. That's why it works good to keep something in place. And this is just score tape, my crafting tape. And then I'll have to put something on it to weight down these sides so they stay flat. All right, so we will be back in a couple of days so we can get started on painting and getting this together. But right now we're just going to let it cure. All right, so this is what I have. It's been curing for a couple days. So I'm going to take the tape off, and it should hold. I think it's gone long enough where it shouldn't try to go back down. And we can start painting it. So the other thing I'm going to do first is I'm going to clean up some of these cut edges here. I have to find a file, but I'm just going to kind of clean down some of the roughness on that. But you can see how cute that's going to be. And then when it's all painted up, it'll look really good. So I'm thinking, the more I keep thinking about it, I think I'm going to do the skeleton. And it's going to be a wall hanging, so I'm going to have him kind of like coming out of the hole. I'll probably have to, you know, cut him in pieces here. Unless I can, depends on what I use for a frame. Maybe I can get away with attaching him like that so I don't actually have to cut him. But he'll be like coming out. And then he should be like holding this as if he had escaped out of the hole the spirit left. So anyway, that's what I think we're going to do. I'm really liking it. I don't think the hand's going to look good. I would have to paint the hand. It wouldn't be this color. But I mean, that would be neat too to do. But I don't like this hand, and it's very heavy. This is, it's not ceramic, but it's a very heavy plaster. I'd have to paint it because, like I said, the color wouldn't match. But it is kind of heavy, and trying to secure it in here might be a challenge. Although it would look neat. I don't know. I kind of like the skeleton. Anyways, we'll see. But we need to go ahead. I'm going to clean up any of the excess tape smudges, and we're going to paint that black. Okay, so we are going to get started on painting this guy. So this is what I ended up with. And it's taken me a while to do this video because this Ouija board would not cooperate with me. It constantly kept, I thought it was all solid, and then these pieces here would start closing back in, and then I'd have to heat them up with my heat gun and rebend them and tape them down, and then I thought it was ready, and then did the same thing again. I finally had to take a tumbler and leave it in it for like days on end to keep it from closing up, and I think finally we're good. So we're going to get started on painting this. I want to paint the back all in black just to add color to the back of it. I don't think it'll need it, but I don't know what I'm completely doing yet. So I'm going to go ahead and paint black on the back, and then the front part I'm going to go ahead and do basically a Ouija board color. So it'll be like the lighter tans and stuff, and then I'll dry brush over the top with the black. But I am just using some Craft Smart paint from Michaels. And let's go ahead. I'll start painting with you, and then we'll come back when that's dry. So the part that's going to bust open, I want black, because that's kind of like where the spirit is coming from. So let's get the edges here. And I've been really waiting to make this because it's going to be fun, a fun piece to make. And as soon as I saw the Ouija board, it's kind of the idea I had with this. So I'm excited to see if it's going to come out like my head has it. So we'll get a little bit of paint on here. And then I'm just going around these edges here. Get some paint in there. But yeah, this thing was giving me a hard time. Maybe it should be a sign because it's a Ouija board. But, and it is kind of streaky, so I'll probably have to do a few coats in between drying times. But the real magic will come when I dry brush the black on it. So that's what we have right now. And then I'm just going to go ahead, paint the whole thing. And now I've certainly had my full of black paint. I've been on vacation, and I actually painted my kitchen cabinets black. They look amazing, but it was so much work. So even though I'm painting this black, I'm excited to go ahead and start adding some color on here because I'm so tired of painting with black paint. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording right now and go ahead, get this all painted up, and then I will show you what it looks like. Unless I just fast forward. Maybe I'll fast forward. I don't know. That's a lot of video. But all right, so let me go ahead, get some coats on this, and we'll be back. All right, so that's currently drying, and I have to do the back of my planchette too. I don't really know what color this is supposed to be, so I'll have to Google that. But the Ouija board so far has 2 coats, and I'm actually using a hairdryer to dry in between coats, and it has a cool setting on it so it doesn't get too hot, because I'm afraid that it is going to deform my Ouija board if it gets heated up. And I fought so much with it to go back into the shape that I needed it. So I have a hair dryer, and I'm just using that to dry in between. All right, so this is where we are, and you can see all the detail, and believe it or not, I only painted the back side. which is really weird. And I have all these little resin pieces that are, oh, that's why it's on my mat. Just was like, why do I have all these resin pieces attaching to it? That's why. Let me clean that off. But anyway, I have, this is all done, and this is just finishing up drying. You can see that detail too. So I'll get paint ready, and we'll go ahead and start doing the top part, and then I'm going to get rid of all these little resin pieces that are annoying me. And then I used Craft Smart black paint on the whole base of it, and I'm just dry brushing it. And I also had a little accident with this because this piece has been giving me such a hard time of staying shaped. So this piece did break off, so I'm going to hot glue it on. However, it's in pieces right now, so this Ouija board does not want to get made. So hold on, turn my phone down. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just dry brushing on it. So let me kind of move this over. So I put paint on it and then just kind of get off, so I have very little. And the silver is kind of given a very good coverage on it. So you can see right here. So what the dry brushing does is it just hits the edges, and that's it. So it looks really good right now. And the silver is working out like really nice. You can see it's just bringing the details alive right on this black right here. Let's go over here to this spot here that I haven't touched, and you can just see how it looks. And it's just getting the raised edges. And that's actually looking really good on the camera. That looks nice. And let's do this guy. So I'll do a little bit with you, and then I will come back when I have it all done. But now I am happy with this. I did not like what it was doing before. So what I was doing, I was trying to make it actually look like a legit Ouija board, but the colors weren't playing nice. So instead it's just like, just paint it to what I like. So that's what we're doing. I did play around with some different waxes and stuff, but it didn't give me the nice contrast that I was looking for, which this silver is definitely doing what I wanted. And then my letters, those ones might be hard because I don't want to get, silver on the background. So that looks good like that. So anyway, I'm going to keep painting, and we'll just fast forward through it, and then you can just see me paint the whole thing. Alright, so as you can see, this actually looks really good. So I was using some of the black paint because, like I said, I wanted to keep the black part here black, and then put the silver on just on the letters and stuff. So I just went ahead and touched it back up with the black paint. So that's a good thing about when you put the black base down, that you can just go over it afterwards and touch it up and keep it the way you want it. And if you don't like it, you just paint over it and start over again. Pretty much what I had done with this. And then I did these little guys, and I'm gonna hot glue this back into place, and hopefully it's going to like the color this time and not give me no more problems, because I feel like this Ouija board is telling me it has a mind of its own already. Alright, so I am going to work on this little guy here. I do see some spots with the black that I need to fix, and I'm not sure on the color of this one. Again, I didn't like this one either, so I guess I'll have to wait to see what color it tells me this wants to be. But anyway, that is where we are right now. I had more because he's like fully posable, and it's neat. He can just kind of like hang out here with me. But anyway, let's continue on. I'm gonna move him off before he scratches that. So I'm going to use some waxes, and we're going to start off with this pretty blue one. And we'll see if I like it or not. If not, we'll just repaint it black and start over. So let's do these guys. That's going to be pretty. And with these gloves, I'm not working, and I'll just wash my hands. I just want to get the top layer, so I'm trying to get some of it off, but it seems to be getting too much off. If I have too much on my hand, it's going to get down in those little crevices, and I want those to stay black. So we're getting there. It's going to take a little bit, because I'd rather do a little and have to keep adding to it than have it end up getting all black on me. And I think that little, losing my voice, I think I want to make that purple, because I think with the silver, a lot of it's going to look good. The camera's not picking it up, but I can see it. Looks really good. I don't know. Yeah, the lighting's not going to get it, but hopefully in the photo you can see it. But it looks really good with the purple there now. Alright, so I'm going to continue doing this. You can see what I'm doing. Just going to use the waxes, and I'll show you when I'm all done with it. And I'll be back. Alright, so this is where I'm at. I'm not sure how well the lighting is going to pick it up, but I ended up using some waxes and that wax, and then I also used the sparks. I added some green on it with fairy wings. So I kind of like that. Now let's see, what do I want? I'm trying to decide if I want to paint him or leave him be. Because he's actually not too bad of a skeleton, so I feel like I could get away with the colors he is. I'm going to play on the foot and then decide if I'm going to paint it. If I will, I'll come back because the feet aren't going to show. So I will see if I like it when I paint that, and then either we'll do the whole thing or we won't do any of it. Alright, so I did paint his foot. I like it much better. However, it's not enough contrast for the board, so he's literally going to match the board if I do that. So I think for the most part, I'm just going to leave him the way he is. I might do something with his eyes and, not his teeth. I might make the eyes a little darker, but overall, I think he's going to stay the color he is, even though I do like that. Okay, so I picked up this little frame here, and it's going to be stacked with another frame. However, this doesn't match this piece right here because this is black and silver, and this is kind of like a, it's not quite a black, but it is dark like a black with some kind of gold and brassy highlights. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this to match this guy. So I'm just going to go through and paint it all up. And then all the raised area, I'm going to go ahead and do it in the silver. That way this will match the Ouija board and it won't look weird. And it'll actually match nice, so it'll make it look like it was part of the piece to begin with. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint all this up, and then when it's done and dry, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight it with the silver, I will come back and show you there. So this is all covered with black paint. You can see all the nice detail that we're going to get out of that. And now I'm just using silver. And we're just going to dry brush on top of that just to get the nice texture. So doing the same thing I did on the Ouija board. You can just see that come alive now. This is the fun part that I always like doing. And it doesn't take long either to do it, so it's nice. And let me just do a little more, and I'll show you what it kind of looks like with the Ouija board so you can get an idea. So now if I take this and put this here, you can see we're going to have some nice color on that. And then let me just give you a sneak peek at my other frame. So this is going to be the one underneath. I have to screw it in. And then this is going to sit on top like this. And then we'll put it all together. So anyway, I'm going to finish going ahead and painting this up, and then I'll come back and we'll start doing some fun assembly. All right, so we have it all done up with the silver. You can see absolutely how pretty that is. Love that. So now, am I dry? Looks like I'm pretty dry. So I need to take this guy. We're going to flip this over and this over, and it's going to sit down in there. Looks really neat. And we're going to screw in, I got some brackets. So I got these guys here. Pick these up at Michael's. And these are going to screw in, and it's going to hold this frame down, because if you were to set it down, you can see it has room, and we need to make it all flush. So I'm going to take these little guys and we're going to stick them on, screw them in just like that to hold that in place, and then I will be back and we'll just keep continuing. So it comes with the little screws. I'm going to put screws in this part here because this is plastic and I don't want to crack it, and I don't need to put it on there. I just need to screw this in here to make sure that those stay. So I'm going to take care of that and we'll keep going. All right, so I have all these little brackets on, and now this piece is going to stay where it needs to stay. And we're going to take our Ouija board, and that is going to go right on here, so you can see absolutely how pretty that is going to look now. So these two match in color, and then you get the nice contrast with this frame. I'm just not sure how to attach this. So maybe hot gluing it is going to be the best bet. I was going to use those little brackets because that's originally why I bought them. But the problem is if I put the brackets on, you're going to see it. And I would have to put something on to hide them. And I'm just not sure what I can put on. Let me... Just don't know if it's going to go through that plastic too. Let me see what other resin I have. Maybe I can put something on top. Alright, so this I think is what I might have come up with to hide it. I have been wanting to use these guys so much, and I think I might have found a way to use them. So I can use part of them to hide the hinges, so you can we'll still be able to see them a little bit, but they would be also pretty hidden on there. And then this one would go up here. Whoops, I'm not high enough. And then this one would kind of hide it like right there. So again, you'd still see it a little bit, but it would be hidden. And the fact that they're silver, they're not going to be as noticeable. So I think I'm going to try to use those ones. So I just have to line everything up. So, all right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and attach these guys down. That way this piece won't move. So this is kind of how he's going to be coming out of the part in there. I can move him a little bit. there we go, better light. So he's going to be like that. And then these little guys are going to go there. And that will kind of hide the screws the best I can. Like that. And then this at the top. This is kind of what we got going. That'll look neat. And then it'll hang. So once it's on, then you can see the profile of it. And he's coming out of the Ouija board. We'll see where his hand wants to go. So unfortunately, I think I need to cut him, and I don't really want to. But this is about, whoops, where he needs to go. So I think I need to take his legs off to stick them in there. All right. Sorry, little dude. You are about to lose your legs. So and it looks like well, it's time to cut him. So then I can attach his pelvis. Oops. So that will go right up against there. So and then when it's against the wall, this will help keep it from coming loose too. So. If I can get those off, because then that would give me more. All right, I'm going to play around with it and do a little surgery with them and see where we're at. All right, so let me show you where I'm at. I did end up cutting his legs off, and then I had to cut part of his pelvis. So I've hot glued him right here, and I'm hoping he's going to stay. I'm just using this little stand to keep it propped up. And I need to glue or attach the planchette. So what I got is, this is what I did for this guy. Hold on, where are we here? You see how pretty that came out. So I have some fishing line, and I'm going to figure out how to attach it. This. And then come around maybe and tie it on. Because I want to make it look like he's holding it. So that looks kind of neat. I'll trim up the stuff, but you can see with him coming out of there now. Oops. There, I don't think that will go anywhere. Let me just, rather not. So that looks pretty cool. Let me trim that up. All right. So this is him now. His head keeps spinning and it's like, oh, The Exorcist. I need to see about maybe gluing his head. All right. So there's that. I'm going to see about these little guys. Oops. Those are going to look so cool on there. Whoops. So this is what we have right there. My light is washing it out a little bit though. There we go. That's a little better. So I'll put those guys on there. And this little guy up here. All right, cool. So I'm going to glue those on. I'm going to heat up my glue gun again. And I have some red beads, or like red pearls, half pearls. I want to glue them in his eyes. That way it looks like he's got like beady eyes coming out. So I'll go ahead and add some embellishments on it, and then we will go from there. All right, so I think I'm actually going to call this little guy here done. I was thinking about adding some more embellishments to him, but I don't think he needs it. I don't want to overkill it. I want to keep it as, I don't want to say realistic, but as much as I can to my original theme, which was the spirits escaping from the Ouija board. So I don't want to overkill it too much. And I kind of think he's perfect now. So anyway, he is all done. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching the process of me making him, of all the, excuse me, all of the ups and downs, because he did give me a hard time. Apparently he did not like the color of the Ouija board originally and then broke. But anyway, I absolutely love how this came out. So let me give you another little look of him escaping through the Ouija board. Just like that. Alrighty, so anyway, if you like what you see, go ahead, give this a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I hope you enjoy the process of this. I always make a lot of these pieces for myself. I never record them, I don't actually even post them, and I have some really amazing stuff I've never even put out there. But anyway, until next time guys, happy crafting. Bye!